So, I was supposed to do a stream yesterday afternoon, but I fell asleep and my sleeping schedule has been a total mess. So, why do I have this Xiaomi SU7 open? Well, two reasons. First, one of the weekly challenges required that I, drive this car. I have no choice, um, to do it. And the license plate is up to your interpretation and stuff. And second, we gotta talk about how dangerous EVs made in the PRC are, or made by PRC brands, because I've heard reports that they intentionally lock in, what is it? They intentionally lock in drivers and then try to, end them. So we were at the Barcelona circuit, and we had that through 725. We're gonna do this first because honestly, with the fact that Mark Carney tried to negotiate a win with. Oh. Of course, my PS5 had to crash this time. It always crashes in GT7 nowadays, so I may have to get my PS5 serviced soon. I know, right? But Mark Carney tried to negotiate a win for Canada, but in reality, yeah, my PS5 definitely crashed. Just wait a moment while I try fix it. Maybe that's what I deserve for just being. I don't know. Yeah, Sony has lost it with the price hikes of the PS5 because every time they change the PS5, the reliability gets a lot worse, and they jack up the prices too. Like, for example, the PS5 Pro is supposed to be $900, and we're still getting errors like this shit over here. Actually, on my standard PS5, we have 4 megabyte rapport, and you know what? We're going to wait. We're gonna wait. Okay, yeah, that was. Yeah. So basically, um, that's the PS5 in an experience in a nutshell in 2026. So now I gotta start GT7 all over again, or maybe because Sony's trying to remotely crash my PS5 because of the license plate I had. Even though I made it in Inkscape in about in under 15 minutes. So now I gotta start this game all over again because Sony just has completely lost it in the past decade. Like, they've went full Mao Zedong thought on their platform. With the censorship, now they're driving devs away to PC and Nintendo Switch. And then Switch 2. And then you have them engaging in some woke BS, but don't worry, it's just half of the story because the NDP convention in Canada last week. It was just I have no words for it that I can say on stream because I could literally get flagged for saying some stuff. So Yeah. But my point is, I hope we get in this time. If this still crashes, then I have to. Oh, wait. We finally got in. And we have 5 laps. So we're not tuning this car because we know this car's just gonna crash and oh, we should have gotten sports hard. Hold on. Let's change this. Let's change that. And oh wait, my Alsa is not responding. Let me check the sound first. I'll just turn off display and the sound because the sound's currently set to Dolby Digital 5.1. We can't have that in this okay, sorry, but there was there I forgot to set this because due to the reinstall my operating system, I had to get rid of my KVM setup. Don't worry, there'll be a new KVM setup that's much cleaner than the one that I had before. But because SSD prices are so insane right now, like the world's insane. Yeah, but those PRC EVs, I already talked about it. Now let's talk about Lee Jae-myung, the president of South Korea. I really think he along with Yoon Suk-yeol, despite being on opposite sides of the political spectrum in South Korea, they have effectively crippled the Sixth Republic of Korea, which are supposed to be a democracy, and yet because Yoon Suk-yeol was being such an asshole and decided to invoke martial law for 6 hours. Oh wow, it is jutting out hard. Actually, let's go medium tires because this car really does not like me. Let's try medium instead. I actually really hate this car, honestly. This car keeps jutting out when yeah, it keeps jutting out. Yup. Oh, that was awful, honestly. Oh, I hate this fucking car. Okay. Hopefully this is a. Hope there's no more jutting out. But the problem is. And you remember the humiliation we had 5 years ago when the CCP was celebrating their like 100th anniversary, their centennial of terror or something. Like, look at how weak sauce the Biden-Harris dictatorship was. They were so hard on their dissidents in America, but they were really soft on the PRC. And at the Anchorage summit, that cost America a lot. I mean, is it just me, or was it in 2021 the only country that made any sense at all was Russia? I'm sorry, but I'm not really saying this out of genuine support for Russia, but rather, I'm just really frustrated with what the West had become this decade. It's just, I mean, what the hell happened to the West, honestly? And now Japan, South Korea, Australia, and New Zealand to add to my woes. This car keeps jutting out. Okay. Then we gotta talk about and yeah, Mark Carter tried to negotiate a win with for Canada by having the PRC grant 30 days of visa-free travel to the PRC. And according to some surveys, some Canadians hate Americans more than Russia, or America and Americans more than Russia. Like, remember Ariana Grande's comments about at a donut shop? She says, "Oh, but I hate America. I hate Americans." Which brings me back to Trails of Cold Steel 3, where one of the main characters said, "This is about the people rather than my grievances about the country, but this is about the people." Well, on my discourse, there's no separation of people and country anymore, even though I really want separation between people and country. Because, to be honest, I really hate the Zelensky regime in Ukraine. However, there was one hardware creator in Ukraine that is unaffiliated with Zelensky, but has to deal with Zelensky systems because of. And today I received something from that hardware creator because they announced something called something that will be relevant in a future stream. Now I was supposed to do that stream like much earlier, like last month, but I was still in Japan. I was recovering from some really stressful time there, so. Oh yeah, speaking of Canada, the whole situation regarding last week's crash of an Air Canada regional jet at LaGuardia Airport is an absolute fucking gong show, honestly. In Canada, you had the CEO of Air Canada resign because he was not bilingual enough. That was so petty, honestly. That was so petty compared to what we have to deal with in the US. The Democrats had shut down the government for 2 fucking months already. And especially under the direction of Chuck Schumer. And I was even affected on my way flying back from Haneda after having to deal with an annoying passenger for the duration of the flight from Tokyo. So, so I told my mom, and also the people in front of me, who claimed that, oh, but the long wait times are because Japanese efficiency is better. I said, it's either Chuck Schumer reopens the government or I move to Russia. Again, not surprising given that I literally stay at an Airbnb near the Russian embassy in Tokyo. Although they ended up, although the Airbnb didn't care about the location, I was the only guest who deciphered the area pretty well. My mom likes the place because it's spacious, but the carpet's kind of dirty though. And the Wi-Fi was kind of spotty. Oh, and speaking of Russia, my comments on the previous stream remain true as gas reaches $4 a gallon in my area for the first time since 2022. This whole fucking war in Iran isn't helping anyone. I'm being honest here. Like, in 2024, I voted for a certain someone, and now that certain someone has lost my trust. Why aren't more people waking up to the fact that just because you vote for a politician means you don't have to have a mandate to keep him or her accountable? Why? Why is that? Oh, and about gas prices in my area, I got called out Royal Farms specifically because they literally have the highest gas prices well in my area, well above the average in my area, of course, because I feel like at this time, as well as back in 2022 with the Biden inflation crisis, they're an absolute fucking scam, honestly. Plus, the gas isn't that good, and the food was even worse. So, it's not, the prices, the gas quality and food quality does not justify its premium pricing. It's almost like a perfect metaphor to Philadelphia metropolitan area, honestly. Very high cost of living and very low quality of life. That's socialism 101. No Zoran Mamdani required. And speaking of Zoran Mamdani and New York City, yes, I was made aware that there was the Gracie Mansion incident last month. But everyone in both U.S. national and international conservative media keeps saying, "Oh, but it's done by migrants." No, I've done the background research while I was vacationing in Vietnam. There were 2 teens from Bucks County, Pennsylvania. In other words, the suburbs of the Philadelphia area. Which means I'm even more ashamed to be from that area too. Even as we talk about certain people online just being, I don't know. Because I really think I did get shadow banned after that one stream I did back in at the end of November 2025, which I had to since delete because keeping it up would have put me in a lot of trouble with both YouTube and law enforcement and the courts. So yeah. It's just sad, honestly, because in the 90s, Philadelphia wasn't really this bad like it is now. Especially because they did provide assistance to the Kobe area in after the 1995 earthquake there. I visited the museum in Kobe, and it was a really thought-provoking one, but otherwise it was okay. So we got 100,000 tickets, but it was a not watching this. Yeah. No dropped frames. My new router is good. This is the first time I'm doing a long stream with a new router. So you don't even have to get a Japanese FF car. Let's see. We'll get our Kita Mobile. I should be using the Kita Mobile because it's a gift car. And you're going to race on a Topless in... yeah. Let's hope my thing doesn't crash, because my PS5 isn't crashing a lot lately due to GT7. Okay, so this is... I forgot to put a New Jersey. I put a New Jersey plate on it, but right now we're just not going that quickly. There's only 2 laps in this entire thing. I also had to recalibrate my TV, so... I just need to go up to first place and hold. This is actually very, I haven't played GT7 in about a month, so I'm kind of rusty. However, I may only have mental bandwidth for this one and one more because of my extensive rant about the state of the world, honestly. So, I don't know. To be real for a moment, my mood has been really bad these past 8 months. You might have noticed it by either me not doing that many streams or me not my anger getting more intense each stream I do. So, like about that Mario Wonder stream I did 2 days ago, I feel like I have a responsibility to apologize for those viewers who were expecting to see Mario but instead got unrelated rants. But again, Lee Jae Myung is a chronic liar because he said he had 200 days of oil reserves left, but 900,000 barrels disappeared. Bound for South Korea disappeared, and now South Korea only has like less than 2 weeks of oil reserves as we speak. Now, don't get me wrong, South Korea is a nice country with nice people, but lately, its government has been so shitty. I know, right? First you had the KETA system, which, Korea Electronic Travel Authorization. It's the most unpredictable shit, because even after multiple calls to reform the system, the Korean government just won't budge. Except for, oh, we're extending the deadline because we didn't meet our tourism targets or something. Yeah. We got Queen Race bonus this time. So we're just gonna watch this, because this is pretty sure. And now there's also a new disinformation bill that will bankrupt dissidents, because if you say anything slanderous, you pay the fine times 5 times of that fine. And it was rammed through the National Assembly. Like how America's trying to ram through the Kids Online Safety Act, or how Canada's ramming through Bill C9, or how Japan is trying to ram through the JESTA system, while Narita Airport is still governed under an emergency law from 1978. So, yeah. Just waiting for... You know, sometimes I just want to, I'm gonna check my advanced audio properties really quick. Yup, it's all good. Because I do not want for audio track 2 to have my mic on there, and audio track 3 to have my capture card and my desktop audio on it. So yeah, there's not much to see here because it's just so. Honestly, if you're wondering about my trip to Taiwan, it was actually the high point of my trip because I was really happy in Taiwan. I was very happy there. Taipei 101 was amazing. And so was the metro system in Taipei, unlike that shit system that we have in Philly. And we also had Taiwan High-Speed Rail, which was actually more orderly than the Shinkansen, believe it or not. In fact, so orderly you could not even pass the ticket gates more than an hour before your departure. The only problem is there are no in-seat chargers, but again, Taiwan is very strict on whether you can charge on board or not because of a flight last year between Hangzhou, China, and Incheon in South Korea, where a battery literally caught on fire in the overhead bins. So that's why I had to take out my Anker 100 watt-hour battery from the ball compartment of my backpack. Alright, let's end the replay. Because of how, okay, this is gonna be the last one because I'm already worried about my PS5 stability. This is in Willow Springs. Gotta change this to a... Do I want Ford or Toyota? I'll probably get Ford. But such as no tires due to Canada. Due to the race they had in Canada the other stream. I'm not sure how long it's been since I used this, but this will be the last one this stream because I'm really concerned about my PS5 stability. Oh, it's really dark outside. You gotta love dark screens when you have like if you're going to optimize a pickup truck, you gotta optimize it for stability, not handling, because those vehicles have a higher rollover risk than like lower lying vehicles. I think the last time I was in a pickup truck was between my uncle's house in Saigon and Tanzania Airport. But my God, Tanzania Airport was an absolute gong show because check-in took too long, exit immigration took too long, security was chaotic, honestly, because... And after that, after 1 hour of struggling between in line and also dealing with security, you're finally at your gate. It was so exhausting. Right? Okay, we are in 5th place. And we have 2 laps to go in this darkness. Make sure I don't spin out because I have my PS5 controller for about 4 years, and usually because there's a lot of people who change PS5 controllers within just a few years, but meanwhile I kept the same PS5 controller because Sony hiking prices is absolutely not funny this decade, or this in the past decade actually. They really lost the script. Because in the PS1 era, they were all about getting in the PS1 era, they're all about getting CD to the mainstream. But PS4, they axed the CD capabilities. It's like the PS4 was a hard reset for the PlayStation brand. Like it's like the Chinese Cultural Revolution. Or more recently, the American Cultural Revolution of the 2020s, and the Biden-Harris dictatorship. And I also miss the PS3 era because it wasn't perfect. It had its controversies too, but it wasn't as it wasn't as legacy ending as the PS4 or PS5. But because they ended, plus Sony moves way too slow when it comes to component prices, because they decide to hike the prices now, while there's some rumors that some RAM memory chip pricing in the PRC had actually fallen. But I've yet to verify these rumors because because if I want to see the rumors myself, I gotta check. I gotta check the gotta check Amazon or something. Or I'm not trusting Newegg that much anymore because Newegg has blew it lately. There are other stores too, but yeah, I think that will be it for this stream because I'm very tired and I mean my sleep schedule is still disrupted from the trip, so yeah. That might be it for today's stream, but I'm not in a really good mood lately, so